Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here, your continued love and support here on the channel. So today's pick a card reading, we are doing how is your life changing? Okay, so we're going to be looking at what is happening in your life that is bringing about this change, or what this change involves, what it's all about. And then how it's going to affect you, okay, whether it be positive or negative, how, in which ways is our life changing. And if there is something that kind of comes through that maybe looks like it's a little bit difficult for navigating, we're going to ask Spirit how you can prepare for whatever that might be. And then try to get a little bit more detail. So even for those of you where this change is for the better or for the positive, of course, there might be certain things that you want to do to prepare for that as well. So we'll just kind of see what comes through in the reading today, but I'm excited to do this reading for you all. So how is your life changing? We do have 3 crystals for you guys to choose from. For group number 1, we have a Fuschia Agate. For group number 2, we have Opalite. And then for group number 3, we do have a yellow Jasper. If you already feel drawn to one of the crystals, you're more than welcome to skip ahead to the timestamp. It'll take you directly to your reading. But I am going to be adding in one of these cards to help you guys with choosing, for those of you that need a little bit of extra help. I am recording today alone with just me and my dog, so you might hear her in the background. Sometimes she comes in. Right now she's out of the room, but sometimes she just kind of like barges in and sniffs around. And yeah, so she might let me know if she wants to go out or not, but she's pretty quiet right now. Sometimes she gets a little whiny in the background when she needs to go out, when she's hungry, but she's already eaten. She's already been outside. So you might hear her, like I said. So just know that it's her in the background. Okay, so let's pull one of these cards with helping you guys choosing. So how is your life changing? Okay, so let's pull something for group number 1. Group 1, how is your life changing? And if there's something that's coming through today, okay, and we're not really liking the way that it's going, know that you can always change things, okay? So your life is shaped by a lot of your choices, the decisions that you make, the behaviors that you have, the emotions that you carry behind it, the actions or non-action can also change our life in many different ways. And our life is always changing, always evolving. Sometimes, we go through things that are difficult, and sometimes everything's just smooth, free-flowing, good. So let's just see. So group number 1, how is your life changing? Group 1. Group 2. With the Opalite, how is your life changing? And group 3. I guess we're going to take those 2. All right. Okay, so I do have another oracle deck that I'm going to use, but I'll pull that card a little bit later once we get into the reading today. And I think for you, group 3, I'm only going to show you one of the cards, okay, just so that you don't get confused, okay? And I also want to say thank you to AJ for donating this deck to the channel. It is the Everyday Witch Oracle, so thank you, AJ, so much for your kindness, your generosity. So group 1, we have tears of joy and sadness. Okay, for group 1, tears of joy and sadness. We also have the Fuschia Agate paired with that for group number 1. How is your life changing? Group number 2, we have meditation for creativity, and that is with the Opalite. Group number 3, I'm just going to show you the top one. So we have listening to wisdom, and that is with the yellow Jasper. Okay, so that is for group 3. All right, so those are the choices. How is your life changing? Pause the video if you need a little bit more time, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, group 1. So those of you that resonated with the Tears of Joy and Sadness card, this is going to be a reading today. So we are finding out how is your life changing? So let's take a look at what is coming through here. We're going to pull the tarot. With tears of joy and sadness. Well, it obviously feels like there's some type of emotional element here. Let's see what this is. How is group number 1's life changing? We have the Strength card. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Four of Wands. Ten of Wands, okay. We have the Devil. How is group number 1's life changing? The Two of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. The Five of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. Let's pull one more. And then we also have the Hierophant here. Okay, so we do have Leo, Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Virgo. Yeah, and that's what we've got here. And then we have the star at the bottom, which is Aquarius energy. Whew, okay. I will say that this energy, the way that it's kind of coming through, it is up and down here. Okay, so I can see where Spirit is saying here there's tears of joy and sadness, because when we started off with that Strength card there, I'm noticing that there's a tornado that's behind the witch. And it looks like she's got her wand here, almost like she's in control of it. She's in power. And the Strength card is about self-control. It's about overcoming our fears and staying calm with whatever it is that we have going on. It's in the way in which we choose to react or respond to whatever it is that we might be going through in life. So it kind of looks like there's a challenge here, or some kind of struggle, something that feels very overwhelming, okay? We have the Five of Cups present. So the Five of Cups is about sadness. It is about grief over some kind of loss. And when we're in that kind of emotion, it can really kind of take over and take control. I still want to get a little bit more information, because I kind of feel like there's a few things here that are still a little bit unclear. But what I will say here is I'm noticing that there's a tornado in that card. There's a volcano back there. There's a volcano here with the dragon that's got its fire out. And then here, the dragon has just kind of like the smoke that's just kind of dissipating there. And so this kind of makes me feel that there is some kind of challenge here that you're going through. And it may be a situation that does cause a lot of feelings of regret or remorse or guilt or shame or disappointment, discouragement. I don't know exactly what this is pertaining to. Okay, I don't know if Spirit's going to give me all the details, but it could even be a situation where we feel like we don't know how to handle it, where we might feel confused or conflicted. We might feel really discouraged. And really, it feels like it's overwhelming, okay? The 10 of Wands can really be when we feel burden. We feel something that like pressure or stress or even responsibilities that we're kind of trying to, try to take care of everything, handle everything. And it might feel very overwhelming. And so with the devil energy being present, the devil can sometimes be this energy that is very overpowering, very oppressive, almost making us feel like we're restricted, we're trapped, we're stuck, we can't get out from whatever it is that feels like it has this power of some kind of like a dark cloud, in a way that's just kind of hovering there. And I feel that this is something that is going to require a lot of your inner strength, a lot of your courage, a lot of your confidence, a lot of you maintaining a certain level of balance and calm about this time that you're moving through, okay? Or things could feel very intense. The positives are, I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles here, this is where we are taking time to really be more intentional and purposeful in how we move towards a desire, a dream, a goal, with something that we're working towards. The Knights in the tarot are about some kind of action, okay? So when I'm looking at this Knight of Wands, this witch has its wand kind of like down by its side, and it almost looks like it's flying surrounding that mountain there. So it almost kind of gives me this perception of something that we might be facing that could seem insurmountable, that could feel very scary or challenging, or that we're not going to be able to find some way to figure out how to move through it. But the Two of Cups is here, the Four of Wands, and then I'm noticing how she's got flowers, she's got her wand still up in the air, like it's still working. This almost gives me this energy of like, even though it's the Queen of Wands, it gives me kind of that feeling of the Six of Wands, which is about victory. It's about overcoming some type of challenge here. And in a way, maybe things that you're facing may not, be kind of coming out exactly as we had anticipated, and we might feel a little bit of discouragement, kind of like we're dealing with a setback or something that's just really challenging for us. But I feel that no matter what this is that you are going to come out on the other side of this in a way where you look back on it and say, wow, that was really hard, or that was really challenging. And it might bring up, right, a lot of emotions within you. A lot of release is what I'm getting here. A lot of emotional release. The joy coming from, and I'm seeing the Two of Cups here, how they're just kind of sitting, and it looks like they're like on the beach with a sunset in the background, where they're, joining their cups together. And the Four of Wands is about a celebration, some type of milestone, some type of achievement here. And so I feel that looking even at the Hierophant card here, how it's just very calm. These two people here are in front of this, I don't know, maybe like a meditation or yoga instructor there. And just kind of really grounded, very peaceful. The Four of Swords is also about rest and reflection, healing, meditation, So it almost kind of feels like whatever this is that has been challenging or overwhelming, it's that you're able to get past it, And when we're in the Ten of Wands energy too, this is one where there is a completion of maybe a very difficult cycle that we have gone through. And I feel like with the Hierophant being present, the Hierophant talks about what our beliefs are, right? And how we choose to believe, maybe in this case, your power, your strength to be able to overcome certain things, or to have your fears be minimized when we are facing something, to know that you have the resilience within you to move past whatever this is, and to not let your fears get the better of you, okay? The Queen of Wands is also a very confident energy. It's very creative and very passionate, very charismatic and confident, okay? And I feel like that is certainly something that is required here. It is something that will help you to kind of move through whatever this is. I do want to get a little bit more information here, because with the star at the bottom too, and the Seven of Wands is right underneath that. The Seven of Wands can be when we are facing challenge and adversity. This is about not giving up, though. It's about not backing down. It's about moving through it. It's about perseverance. The star energy is about having hope, faith, trust in yourself, believing in yourself. It's about being optimistic and knowing that everything will be okay. The star brings about an energy of renewal, of peace, of healing, of calm. The Strength card is also about calm. It has more so to do with controlling the fears, though, right? Because, of course, if we're facing something challenging and our emotions start going, right, a lot of that can manipulate us and control us in a way that's negative and make us very afraid of what we're facing, okay? So I want to... Because both of these here, the Two of Cups and the Four of Wands, both of these are about harmony and balance. So I want to get a little bit more information here. Let's look at this. I think we're going to clarify the Five of Cups. Because it almost kind of feels, in some regard, with all of the tornado being present, the volcanoes, it feels like something perhaps that has been kind of building up, or maybe something that has been weighing on you. So it does feel like a lot of release of the pressure or the burden or the stress. Like all of this tension kind of building here, and then release. And then, let's see, why is the Five of Cups here? This feels like it could be like your life changing in a way that is going to bring about more peace after this, whatever this might be tied into. Like peace being restored. The Hanged Man, okay. The King of Pentacles. And then we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, I'm kind of getting a couple different messages here. The first one that I want to start with, for some of you, this might be about a job, okay? Your career, a job that you could be leaving. And if this has been something that you have been working on for, say, like a long time, you invested a lot of your energy here, there could be grief over leaving that job. And it might be something that does require a lot of your strength, a lot of courage, because this feels like you could be moving into a new direction in terms of pursuing passions that you have, and maybe even leaving a job that maybe is that provides a lot of financial security. Okay, but you might kind of feel like this job has some of you might be like at a place of burnout, feeling burnt out, like I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do something else. Okay, and there could be tears, right? Tears of sadness, like, wow, I put so much of my life, myself, my time and energy into this career field, and it's sad to go. It's sad to leave it. However, I'm excited about what the future holds, about what this is going to bring, you know? So I'm seeing that for some of you here. For others of you, there could be leaving behind a connection, especially for those of you that are like dating someone and you're really wanting to find your person, the person that you will spend the rest of your life with, or your life partner, okay? I feel that there is sadness in a release of a person who could have been creating this illusion of a future with them. So we could be grieving the loss of that potential, you know, within a specific person. And it might require, right, a lot of our courage and strength to walk away, to let go, to surrender, you know, especially if it's a person who's avoidant, who's not taking action towards committing, and commitment is something that you truly want. The sadness comes from letting that person go. The joy comes from welcoming in someone new, and that being your soulmate. Okay, the person who is most aligned with you. This might be where you set boundaries with a past person who is a distraction for you, who is maybe disappointing you in some way, where we would let go of a connection that is no longer in alignment for us, and us grieving that, but then also opening ourselves up to receive what is truly aligned for us. Okay, so I want to look at this, and there's the Tower. There is the Tower, and there's the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a new beginning here. There's something here that we're releasing. And to me, with the Tower being present, you know, the Tower can represent like a structure, some kind of foundation. But this looks like the breakdown of an old foundation, an old way of doing, an old way of being. This, we could look at this as like an old version of the self. Saying goodbye to a former version of ourself and stepping into your power, stepping into this new version of yourself that is recreating, that is manifesting a new life. Okay, it's really what this feels like. And again, where things are being released, things are being let go, things are, because this feels like major change, okay, to some kind of foundation, whether that's a relationship, a job, or like I said, maybe like a version of yourself that we are releasing and letting go of, okay? With the Star being present, this is where Spirit kind of comes in and gives that confirmation about letting you know that even though there's all of this stuff going on, it's all happening for your highest good. It's all happening to bring about this energy of this new beginning and to let you know to keep standing, stay strong through all of these transitions that you might be going through. Okay, surrender to the change. Sometimes when we try to hold on to things that the universe is trying to move out of our way is where we end up suffering, because we're resisting the change. Okay, so there could be, right, certain things that do come to an end where we have some kind of epiphany or realization about that job no longer being in alignment, and we grieve the loss of that job, or we're finally seeing a relationship situation for what it is, and we say, you know what, this person and I are no longer in alignment with each other, and it hurts to let go, but I know that I have to do it. And this is where this kind of opens us up to a new start. Okay, so what do I want to look at? The Devil. We also have Pisces energy. We have the King of Cups. Four of Cups. Queen, I'm sorry, not Queen. Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Some of you are releasing the past. Okay? Releasing the past. This doesn't necessarily have to be, like I said, relationship. But for some of you, I'm seeing that it is. We're letting go of a past person. Past person here, and this kind of feels like we're still holding on to feelings and emotions surrounding this person. So it does feel like it was a pretty significant relationship for you. There could be some kind of wound surrounding rejection here, or abandonment, emotional neglect. So maybe feeling not emotionally supported by a person. I feel that you are also changing, group one, okay? Because the Nine of Pentacles is about having a strong sense of self, a sense of identity, a sense of separateness from this person or this situation that has had a power over you here. So this almost kind of feels like you're reclaiming your power. And that is something that's changing, is your self-esteem, your confidence, the way that you see yourself. And some of you are releasing an attachment to someone, okay? Especially if you're still emotionally attached to a past person. This is where you are kind of creating that separation there, that detachment, okay? So I want to get a little bit more, Spirit, a little bit about this tears of joy and sadness. It's a lot of release here. Page of Swords. We have the Emperor. And then we also have the High Priestess here. This almost kind of feels like something that your own intuition is kind of giving you messages about doing here. Let's get a little bit more. Why is the High Priestess here? Seven of Cups and Nine of Swords. King of Swords and the Page of Cups. Yeah, some of you, I'm getting this is like a holding on to a person. Having a lot of dreams about them. Like this person's coming up in your energy a lot. This feels like a past person that we still have an attachment to. And maybe for some of you, you're no longer talking to this person. Okay. And you could be noticing that you're having a lot of dreams about them, maybe even nightmares. Some of you just kind of not able to sleep with this person being on your mind constantly. Some of you could be waiting for like an apology from this person. But there may not necessarily be anything that you're really kind of seeing in the 3D where this is actually happening. Where this person is reaching out or they are communicating. And so that can certainly be having this realization about the need for letting go, the need for detachment, the need for releasing yourself from this person's control. And not that they are, physically controlling you, because this looks like an emotional attachment that we have to a past person that is taking our power away. And so this change, like I said, overall, it kind of feels like you are stepping into your power. No matter what this is that you're facing or that you're going through here, like I said, it's coming to an end here with that 10 of Wands. When we've been weighed down by something, burdened by something, challenged by something, and feeling like we've been broken down, hurt, sad, discouraged, this is where you rise. This is where you reclaim your power. This is where you are able to take steps towards planning your new future with more peace, with more clarity, with more healing. Okay? Some of you are releasing a lot from your past. And it is sad when these emotions kind of come up, because some of this stuff for us is things that we have not thought about in a long time. It's kind of like you're going through a purging or a purification process where your higher self is kind of guiding you to direct your attention and energy inwards at what we still have to let go of, what we still have to release, so that we can fully be present moving forward in this new version of you, one that is more in control, one that has learned to master their emotions, how to navigate through them, how to put a lot of these things that have been so challenging, how to put them behind you. Okay? And again, that is where that requires a lot of strength, a lot of you digging deep to move forward, to persevere, to keep going. This allows for the emotional release to happen, the clearing, the facing feelings, emotions that are kind of coming to the surface. This could be about forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and letting them go. Okay. So I'm seeing the Queen of Cups at the bottom with the Wheel of Fortune, and there's the Empress and the Ace of Cups. And there's the Tower again. So this really does feel like maybe there has been a lot of emotions with all these volcanoes, right? That kind of like, think about volcanoes, the way that they just kind of build and build and build with all of this energy where finally it just erupts, right? And so, like I said, this feels emotional here. This change that's happening to you. This is a lot of emotional release. This is a lot of healing. And when I look at this Queen of Cups here, it almost kind of looks like she's standing at the ocean and almost like she's making some kind of offering. Okay? The Queen of Cups is about emotional stability. The King of Cups is about emotional mastery. It's also an emotionally calm energy. So I also noticed that both the Queen of Cups and the Empress are pregnant. Okay. Some of you that are in a place where you will be connecting and meeting with the one. And if family is something that you are, wanting to have here, then I normally don't, do readings about pregnancy and things of that nature, but I can't help but notice Queen of Cups and the Empress are both pregnant. Okay. And the Ace of Cups can also be a beautiful blessing in that way as well. So those of you that are, wanting to kind of start that part of your life and journey with the partner, I see that is something that can definitely happen here. Okay. We also have the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune, I noticed the little ticker that's on there. It's pointing towards a house. So maybe for some of you, this is, maybe it's building a new home, a new foundation, kind of like I was saying with the Tower energy, where that was like the breaking down of the old foundation. You could be creating and manifesting something new. Some of you are manifesting and allowing space for new love to come in because you're clearing a lot of this old energy from the past. Okay. This is helping you to align your energy to what you desire. Okay. This is you preparing yourself energetically. That is the preparation. Because I think that was something that we were going to ask here is how can you prepare for this? Allow yourself to release. When the feelings and the emotions come up, no matter what kind they are, okay, even if it's not sadness, if it's anger, if it's resentment, let yourself purge. Okay, because in a way, this is you releasing this energetically in order for you to create space within yourself energetically to receive something new. This other thing over here is occupying space energetically. You're still holding on to it. You're still carrying it with you, right? So we want to clear. So the Ace of Cups is also here, which is about self-love. It's about healing. It's also about new love, new opportunities for love. The Empress is about embodying the energy of love. So those of you that have been calling in love, you've been calling in your soulmate, this clearing here and you reclaiming your power from the past is something that is helping you to change your life in a way that you're calling in the type of love that you wish for yourself, for your life. Okay? We do not align with something, with our desire, unless we are aligned with it. Okay? If we're still holding on to stuff, to old belief systems, feelings of unworthiness, and we are consciously saying, I want love, I'm ready for my soulmate, but on a subconscious level, right? Or any type of psychological wounds that we have are in conflict with that, we are not going to manifest that. We are not going to align with it because we are not aligned ourselves. Okay, so this to me looks like a profound change within you with a lot of healing, a lot of nurturing. And this is something that's helping you to bring your energy into alignment with what you desire. Okay, a lot of this can be working on self-worth issues. This can be working on self-love. This could be working on nurturing yourself. What is self-love? This is you taking some time to think about, and I often like to describe this as, think about the things that you would do in order to show someone you love them or that you cared about them, right? Let's just say we meet someone and we're just like, wow, I love this person so much. I care about them so much. These are the things that I want to do because I want to show this person that I love and I care about them. What are you doing? How are you acting? Take those examples and do that for you. How would you speak to the person that you love, that you care about? Speak that way to yourself. That includes us being more self-aware, paying attention to what our inner voice is like. Are we mean to ourselves? Do we put ourselves down? Are we judgmental? Do we criticize ourselves? All of that's negative, right? So are we being nice to ourselves? No. Does that show that we love ourselves? No, because we're being mean. So we want to speak kindly. We want to change the beliefs that we have and align those beliefs with love, with healing, with peace, and having more self-control, right, over the most difficult of emotions, finding the inner strength within ourselves to still keep our energy stable, calm, and grounded no matter what it is that we might be going through. Where we are in control of our energy, we have mastered our own emotions. We're not letting something else external to us to affect that. You're like a rock, right? Solid, grounded, stable, calm. Okay. So I want to see what else for you. Group number 1. Look at that. Number 41, the sundress, and it says, do it for you. Do it for you. We also have this spaceship here, and it says, don't be afraid to sing. And we have the sun. Paint the sun back into your sky. Okay? And the sun is our life force energy. It's what helps us to feel powerful, strong, confident, bright, radiant, alive. Okay. Yeah. I feel like a lot of this is, this change, I feel like a lot of this too is your self-image. I'm seeing this card here at the bottom. I have to cover up part of it. But it's called the sword, and it says, make the change. And she's looking in the mirror here like she's going to cut off some of her hair. Make the change. And she's looking in the mirror. Here, she's also looking in the mirror. Okay. So, like I said earlier, a lot of these things that you could be experiencing could be really challenging, and it feels emotional, right? A lot of emotions are kind of tied into whatever this is that you're doing. But the change that's taking place most profoundly is within you and your ability to be able to navigate whatever that is, overcome it, release, heal, and find peace again. Clarity. Move forward. This is the number 7, which is the Chariot, which is the willpower to move forward, right? We're painting the sun right back into our sky to help illuminate the path forward. I'm going to clarify this just to get a little bit more. What is this change that group 1 is making? What is this change? I feel it's the self. The way that you see yourself, your reflection, that version of you. 3 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, we are definitely rebuilding here. The Queen of Swords and the 8 of Wands. And again, another tornado here. The World was at the bottom, followed by the Sun. Okay, we're bringing something to completion here. Here she's kind of like taking her hat off and letting the wind take it away. This is release. This is letting go. This is having a strong sense of self, knowing who you are. A new version of you. Without the attachment to the old version of you or to the version of you connected to another person. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group 1. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonated with the Opalite and Meditation for Creativity card, this is going to be your reading today. And we're looking at how is your life changing? And here we see a person who's kind of looks like a very intuitive way of painting. Just really channeling into higher self energy here. Okay. For some type of creative expression. So let's see where this is going for you. Meditation for creativity. And of course, creativity doesn't just have to be, you know, painting. It can be any form of creative expression. Dancing, singing, writing, any type of art. So group number 2. How is your life changing? We have the 10 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. We have the Tower. We have the Devil. This feels like a more free and independent energy, whether that means that you are, there's an ending here, 10 of Swords, the Ace of Swords is some type of breakthrough, some type of clarity. We have the Magician. The World. The 4 of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands. The 5 of Cups. And wow, King of Wands. Very powerful, group 2. This does feel like there is an ending here, and it kind of makes me feel, some of you, this could be, this feels for some of you connected to work, and some of you it feels connected to a relationship. This feels like you're creating a new life for yourself, one that allows you more freedom to explore, to be more creative. Some of you, I'm seeing you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Okay, so this could be like huge change for you, like really stepping up and taking the lead in how you're directing your intention. You're being more purposeful in your life. I want to see this devil here. Now we do have Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Virgo. Why is the devil here? We have the Page of Cups, King of Pentacles in reverse, and Judgment. Okay, some of you, I am seeing that this change that's happening for you is you're stepping onto your most authentic path. It could be that you are aligning with your life purpose or destined career path, something that you feel is more in alignment with you, okay? The Nine of Pentacles is about having a strong sense of self, a strong sense of an identity, a sense of autonomy. This can also be going into finances, where you become someone who's more financially independent. So some of you might be leaving a job, okay, with that King of Pentacles in reverse, that is not really giving you, maybe for some of you, the financial security that you want, or you're finding that it's limiting you in a way that's not really helping you to achieve maybe the financial goals, the financial dreams that you have, the abundance that you want. Sometimes this happens when we are at a job because it's comfortable, because it's a source of financial security for us, and we're too afraid of taking a risk of doing what we really want to do, what we really love. And so I feel that many of you could be making a decision here to just free yourself from the, maybe a job that's keeping you stuck, that's not letting you grow. That could even be like a boss, because the devil energy can be about emotional manipulation, control, and possession. It can sometimes make us feel very oppressed and trapped and stuck in fear, because fear of, I feel like, of financial insecurity. The Page of Cups here is also a very creative energy. It's about imagination, fantasy, creativity. And here we have another person who's painting. So maybe for some of you, there's something more creative that you have been wanting to explore. And again, creativity is not limited to just, doing art. There's so many different ways in which we can express ourselves creatively. You do have the King of Wands here. The King of Wands is an energy about leadership. It's about forging a new path for yourself. It's about leading by inspiration. So there could be like you living your life in a way that inspires other people to live with the freedom that you have. Here she's sitting down in a chair. She's reading a book. She looks peaceful, quiet, happy, content. The Ten of Cups is also here, which is about emotional fulfillment. So some of you could be making some big changes to what you do for work. You could be deciding to pursue a path independently, kind of doing your own thing, making your own money, being your own boss, letting go of a job or a career field that is not bringing about enough money, or not, like, where you're not really seeing the growth that you want. This kind of looks like you're taking control here. Okay, you're not letting yourself be controlled by, maybe for some of you that want to go into entrepreneurship, you're not letting yourself be controlled by another person or another, say like a business who says, we're only going to pay you this much because this is how much this position is worth, or this is how much we feel you're worth, right? This is where you kind of take control to say, no, I'm in control of my money. I'm in control of how I build my business, create my business, run the business, and feeling more free. Okay. Now that could even, let's just say this. Let's just say that you are someone who is a writer. Okay. And you have a job, you've had a career in writing, but you work for a company that has you only writing specific things, and you really have a desire to be more creative with your writing, and it's kind of limiting you to say, okay, you can only write about these things, these topics, or this thing, and you really have a desire to do more. Okay, this is where you kind of take a stand to say, I'm going to do what I want to do, what makes me happy, and what makes me feel more financially abundant, more secure. So I feel that some of you that chose this group here with the Nine of Pentacles can be about being self-made. Okay? Self-made. Meaning that you could really be tapping into a lot of your inner child, a lot of that infinite creative potential that you have within yourself, and really allowing yourself to explore it because it's what you're feeling a soul's calling for. And that could be walking away from the 9 to 5 and saying, you know what? I don't want to do the 9 to 5 anymore. My dog just came in. Sorry, guys. She just kind of barges in with slamming the door open. So this is where you kind of bring yourself to a place where you're just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to be controlled. I'm not going to be manipulated or told, that this is what I need to do or should do. I feel like you're pushing past any type of scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness, and really kind of stepping into a very strong place for yourself with intention, with purpose, and kind of building the life of your dreams. Okay. Asserting a lot of your willpower, your confidence, taking action here. Some of you may have felt very discouraged or even unfulfilled, maybe for a while, and kind of wanting to take control of your life back. So I want to, let's see what this Tower is here. There we go. We have the Fool. The Five of Pentacles. So yeah, some of you are releasing this scarcity mindset here. Okay. Which is powerful because this is a limiting belief. The Fool energy is about taking a leap of faith. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone, opening yourself up to unlimited potential, unlimited possibility. And the Five of Pentacles energy is about scarcity. It's about lack, right? But it's an illusion. It's a false belief. That's the devil energy inserting fear to say, you can never have this. You can never do this. You're going to fail. You're not going to be successful. You'll never be able to do this or that. Okay. Why is the Tower here? Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Yeah, some of you are moving on from something. Seven of Pentacles is about taking time to reevaluate and reassess what you're putting your time and your energy into. Seven of Pentacles can often be that feeling of frustration that we have that we're not seeing the fruits of our labor. We work so hard at doing something, and we still feel not happy with where we're at, with where we're going. We're feeling like we're not receiving the opportunities. Things are not flowing for us. We're not evolving like we want to. We're not seeing the growth, especially when it comes to financial growth. Okay. I want to look at this Magician energy here. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, many of you are manifesting money here, opportunities, healing your finances. I'm seeing the Temperance card coming out with that. Maybe even finding creative ways of creating new streams of income. We have the Five of Wands and the Four of Swords in reverse. Yeah. I feel like a lot of what's healing here is a lot of the self-sabotaging thoughts, the negative thinking, the inner conflict about leaving something, changing something. Queen of Wands is also here with the Seven of Cups. So I see this as you kind of moving towards your goals, your dreams, your desires, feeling confident enough in yourself, believing in yourself, and going after them. Okay. So I will say, if you are someone who right now is dealing with financial insecurity in some way, let's just say you're in between jobs, or you're dealing with debt, you know, financial hardship, loss of a home, things of that nature where there is a struggle there. I feel like this is you shifting out of that space of discouragement and disappointment and hopelessness and into a space where you are really tapped into the potential that you have within yourself to change the reality of what your situation is, to bring it back into a state of balance by making changes. And this, of course, we need to be in a clear head space, right? In order for us to be able to focus on being more consistent, being more committed, being more dedicated to what it is that we're working towards improving, right? Especially if it relates to financial insecurity. How can we take steps towards making finances better, or making better choices when it comes to job opportunities, or to if we're at a job and it doesn't feel like it's paying you enough, or your boss doesn't see you, you're not getting raises, you're not getting the promotion, knowing when to change, right? Not just staying there and say, okay, you know, I wish that this was different, or, you know, I want a better job, but we're not actually taking action towards doing it. This is where there's something kind of like a fire being lit within you where you take control. No longer are you going to allow yourself be trapped by fear, by, you know, the comfort zone, by the fear of change, where you're actually confident enough to say, I'm doing this. I'm making it happen. Not going to let fear win, not going to let it take over and take control. So let's see. What else for group number 2? We have stand up for yourself. Okay, I have to cover part of this. Stand up for yourself. Feels like a catalyst here with that little match. We have the witch here with justice is coming. And we have mourning. The world awaits you. New version of you. And we have the storm here, and it says every hurricane comes to an end. Okay, so maybe this is bringing about a lot of change, a lot of shifts that might take place because of this. But this, I feel like for you, I mean, I'm noticing too, we've got both the Queen and the King of Wands showing up here. Okay, this is a very empowered energy. It's very ambitious. It's very confident. It's very creative. It's passionate. It's like I said earlier, truly believing in yourself and what you are capable of. This is like you rewriting your story here. Completely changing things around. All right, so that is all that I have for you, group 2. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the yellow Jasper, this is going to be a reading. And if you were looking at the intro, you guys had 2 cards that came out. So your first one says listening to wisdom. And your second one says seasonal harvest. Seasonal harvest. Okay. This wisdom feels like it is something that could be coming from your ancestors, spirit guides, passed on loved ones, your higher self. And this feels like where you're intuitively kind of like planting seeds that are going to bring about the best outcome for you, what's going to be the most fruitful. So let's pull the tarot and see like where you're investing. Where is it best for you to invest your time and energy for the best outcome? Seeing the fruits of your labor. It reminds me a lot of the 7 of Pentacles. So group 3, how is your life changing? We have the Empress in reverse. The 5 of Swords, the Queen of Cups. Okay. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Seven of Pentacles is here. The Death card. Okay. So the change that's happening here, there's a change in fortune, and it is happening, I feel like, for the better. This feels like there has been something challenging that you have been going through here. And for some of you, it could be with your abundance. It could even be with love, okay? There's a lot of feeling of defeat, a lot of feeling maybe unloved, unnurtured, unsupported, the inability to manifest, the inability to create. And I feel like what's happening here is that you are becoming more intuitive. You're learning to really tune into your intuition a little bit more, and you're really working towards healing and nurturing yourself and stabilizing your emotions, which is helping you to be more tuned in to know, to say, okay, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to change so that I can have a better outcome in these areas of my life? Okay, because we started off with the tarot with the Empress being in reverse, which can sometimes feel when we have creative blocks. We've got blocks with money. We've got blocks with love. And we're finding a lack of success maybe in those areas of our life. It could even be sometimes when we feel like we don't love ourselves, you know, when we need love, we need nurturing, and that starts within you. So there's a lot, I feel like, about how you feel about yourself, changing your beliefs surrounding money, surrounding love, that's transforming here for you, okay? So you know where to invest that time and the energy, and a lot of this starts within you, okay? The reality that you manifest, right, that the reality that you experience in your life is a reflection of your inner world. So if we can change, right, and alter any type of psychological wounds that we have, or any type of belief systems that we have that are not aligned with what we wish to desire, Like, let's just say if consciously you're saying, ooh, I want, a better paying job. I want to make more money. I want to be abundant. I want to have love in my life. But then on a subconscious level, we feel unworthy of it. We have a belief that everyone abandons us. No one loves us. No one supports us. Or that we can never be abundant. We can never be wealthy, right? If we have those beliefs there, the reality that we experience is going to reflect what those beliefs are. So the first step of this is self-awareness, right, of those beliefs that we carry, of any psychological wounds that we might have, so that we can work on healing them, so that we begin to be aligned with the reality that we want to experience, and then we're able to attract that. You only will attract what you believe you deserve. You will only attract what you are in alignment with. So if we're not attracting what we want, that means we're not aligned with it yet. There's something in there, somehow, some way, a belief that we hold, a feeling and emotion attached to it, behaviors that we have that keep attracting the lack or the lack of success, the failure, or whatever it might be. It's because we have something in there that is in conflict with the desire that we want. Okay, so the change that's happening for you here, with the Wheel of Fortune being in reverse, this kind of looks like we've been in some kind of a karmic cycle here. Okay, surrounding love, surrounding money. And this is connected to our feminine energy, right? So if we've got victim mentality, self-sabotaging thoughts, what do I want to say? Feeling defeated, right? I'm never going to have love. I'm never going to be successful. That is what we're attracting. More lack. Okay? Even though consciously we're saying, universe, I'm ready. I'm ready for love. I'm ready for money. I'm ready to be abundant. What is happening on a subconscious level? There's something going on with the feminine energy that we've been in a cycle with here. Okay? So, let's see. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There's a blockage here. Seven of Swords, Six of Wands, Ace of Swords. There's a breakthrough, which is a good thing. There's a breakthrough with you overcoming this cycle here. It's kind of like you having some kind of epiphany. There it is, the Magician. That's your power. That is what you're manifesting. It could be a realization of the thoughts that you have, right? Or how you feel about the self. Maybe unworthiness to love, unworthiness to abundance. Because this is actually creating blockages for you. So I feel like I'm seeing the Page of Swords here at the bottom. The page can be about observing something, studying something, learning. Paying more close attention to your thoughts, okay? Because the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, those all make up what your vibration is. And if we are in a low vibrational energy, if we're in a victim mentality, if we are in a scarcity mindset, that is what we attract. Your life right now and what your experience is a reflection of what your vibration is. Okay? When it comes to love, we attract from the wounds that we have, the psychological wounds, or the belief systems, right, that we carry about love, the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts, the experiences. Those all dictate what we manifest. Okay? So if we're like always, let's just say that you're a person who always attracts, somehow, some way, you always attract people that are emotionally unavailable. Okay? Take some time to think about, what is it within you, right? Is there a wound that we have? Is there a thought that we have that keeps repeating itself because this cycle keeps happening to you over and over again? And we might be carrying that belief that, oh, here I am on a new date with a new person, and I'm hopeful and optimistic this date is actually going to be it. It's going to go somewhere. But then on a subconscious level, we have that fear of what always happens, which is, I always meet people that are emotionally unavailable. And it's a cycle that keeps repeating itself because it's become a belief that we have, right? So there's some kind of wound here going on within that feminine energy. That's what's attracting that. So let's look at that. Why is the Empress here in reverse? Eight of Pentacles. This is a lot of self-mastery. Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Some of you are really working on your self-esteem, on your confidence. Some of you have emotional blockages that you're going to be addressing, that you might suddenly have this awareness of, this feeling, this emotion that you keep holding on to, that has affected the way that you feel, your confidence in yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth. Okay? All of these things are changing for you in a positive way to help you to get you out of this cycle. I feel like the first part of this is the self-awareness, so that we can start to make the changes. We have to be self-aware in order to change it. Because if we have no knowledge of it and we don't notice this part of ourselves, it doesn't change. We keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. That's where this Page of Swords comes in, because this is observing. This is learning. How am I thinking right now? Why do I continue to think this way? Okay. So I want to look at the Death card here, because there is a change, which is beautiful. There it is, Nine of Pentacles. So we're feeling much more secure, okay, in ourself, which is what's happening here. This is the change. It's taking place within you. You're feeling more confident in yourself. You have a strong sense of self. You feel more secure. You have a sense of autonomy. The Six of Pentacles energy is about being open to receive. Now we're ready. Now we're ready for abundance. Now we're ready for love. So this is healing that's taking place. The Ace of Cups in reverse can be emotional blockages, creative blockages, intuitive blockages, because your higher self, right, is trying to show you certain things that we have to work on, things that we have to heal, things that we have to pay attention to. And oftentimes we're too busy, we're ignoring things, we don't really notice, right? We can feel confused, like, why does this keep happening over and over again? What am I doing wrong? How am I not manifesting right? How is this not happening? Why is this things are not working out the way that I want them to, right? Do we feel worthy of that abundance? Do we feel worthy of the love that we dream of? Okay? Because that Empress in reverse says we don't. There's a cycle here. I want to look at that Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Page of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. And the Lovers. Okay. So I feel like with the Lovers cards being here, I've noticed how these two witches are kind of joining hands here. I feel like this change is taking place. It is within you, and it's going to help you to change the cycles that you've been in. I'm seeing this Lovers as a union within yourself. Okay? You aligning with your higher self, the best version of you. That being something that's helping you to feel more secure. This being something that's helping you to embark on a new path, a new journey of a much more secure version of you that's going to help you to, because now you're going to be in a stable energy. You're going to feel more secure. That's going to attract exactly that, right? If we can shift into an abundance mindset, growth mindset, or we feel worthy of love, we embody the energy of love, okay, and radiate that energy outward, that is what we are going to attract, because we've healed those wounds, right? We're aware of them, which means now we're going to change them. We're going to heal around that, and we're going to shift into a new mindset, new thoughts, which is going to help us to make different choices, different patterns of behavior, and ones that are more aligned with what we desire here. Okay. And that is helping you to put you again in this place of receiving here. The Three of Cups is also an energy of joy and happiness. It could be surrounding yourself with people that are positive, that are supportive, that bring joy into your life, that add value, people that support you, people that you support, people that are there for you, things that are more aligned, things that are more balanced, people, friendships, jobs, all of it, because we feel worthy of it. You know, we might even have issues here where we don't feel beautiful. We don't feel attractive. We're not very body confident. Okay. That is you learning how to really learn to love yourself exactly as you are, flaws and all. Okay. So let's see what else. For group number 3, we have Do It For You. We have Voyage, and it says you already have all the answers. We have Surround Yourself with Love. And Don't Be Afraid to Sing, which to me this says a lot about your authenticity. We have Come Home to Yourself at the bottom. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing as that union there. Confidence. It comes with time and practice. And surrounding yourself with love, especially if you are someone who's, wanting to, manifest love into your life, you've got to be the energy of love. You have to reflect that. Okay? Surround yourself with people that are loving. Be the energy of love. And how do we do that, right? How do we be and embody the energy of love, of self-love? I was telling another group that. And the best way that I can describe this about self-love is to take some time to think about ways in which you personally show someone that you love them. What are things that you do? What are the things that you say to them? How do you talk to them? Be that way towards you. Put that energy that you would give to someone else, all that time, all that love, all that effort, do it for you. Okay? If the things that you think of when you say, oh, I want to show this person how much I love them and I care about them, I'm going to make them a special dinner tonight. What about if you do that for you? Oh, I know that this person, it has a big test. They're studying for school and I want them to do their best on their test. So I'm going to pick up the chores, or I'm going to ask them if there's anything that I can do for them so that they can just focus on studying. And they can, get what they need done, where you kind of try to, kind of shift things for you, helping them out to do that. Do things like that for you. Which means if it's for you and you want time for yourself, this is setting boundaries. Let's just say if somebody's asking of you, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? Can you do this? And you're like, but I really need to study for this test. I want to do well. I want to do great. Okay, well, Maybe we tell that person, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you tonight, I'm studying, or I'm resting, I'm tired. That's you putting yourself first because you love you. You care about you. You're also paying attention to your inner voice and making sure that you're kind to yourself, right? If you pay attention, if you really start, this is a good exercise for you guys. Start paying attention to how often you think negative throughout the day. How often you are mean to yourself throughout the day. That's not very nice, right? When you start to think about it, how many times you think something negative. And this includes a need for you to be more self-aware. Count how many times you can think of throughout that day where there's a negative thought that you have, you're criticizing yourself, you're judging yourself. Is that love? Are we being kind? Are we giving ourselves grace? Are we being patient with ourselves? Take some time to think about those things. Okay? So I want to, for your group, I want to ask Spirit here how you can prepare, because this does look like we're working on healing the feminine energy here to help to make changes with being open to receive. And when we're open to receive, this can certainly be bringing in and aligning you with what your desires are, whether that be love, abundance, you know, whatever this is that you're working with on your path. I want to ask Spirit, what can you do to prepare? Maybe this is setting some time aside to make yourself a priority, putting yourself first. So how can you prepare for this change or this shift with being more open to receiving here? The Six of Swords, the Strength card, and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so with the Strength card here, this is going to be you working on your confidence, maybe working on your self-esteem. It's also learning how to really navigate our emotions, how to have self-control, not to be impulsive with certain things, how to take a more grounded approach, okay? Sometimes there are certain things where we feel like we're impulsively kind of making decisions, or we're kind of like doing things kind of like without thinking. This is a need to kind of have more self-control, to stay calm, to choose how we will respond or react to certain kinds of situations that we're dealing with. I would also say take some time to look at your life, and if there are people or situations that are surrounding you that are creating a lot of very chaotic energy for you, you want to give back to yourself in a way that you're nurturing to create a peaceful environment, as peaceful as you can. Okay? Calm, gentle, loving, nurturing, supportive. Meaning the family members that you have around, the friends that you keep around, romantic partners, anybody that you're dealing with, calm and peaceful energy. If people are bringing in drama and chaos, we don't want none. Okay? We're trying to heal. We're going to set some boundaries. We're working on us. We're healing. We're loving ourselves. We're nurturing ourselves. And we're aligning our energy with abundance. We're aligning our energy with love. We don't have time for anyone that is not aligned with that. Sometimes this might be letting go of certain people in your life. This might be setting boundaries, especially if it's like a family member. And, you know, I know some of you are just cut people off, you know, cut certain family members off. But sometimes we don't always, people don't want to do that, right? But we can set boundaries with certain family members, the amount of time that we spend around them, how we interact with them, how much we let them into our life, where we kind of keep those boundaries in place. So the Six of Swords is about moving towards more peaceful, calm energy, right? That's conducive to your healing, not people that are adding stress and chaos and confusion and all of this other energy. If we're trying to heal and take care of self and nurture self and be our best version of self and align with our desires, the energy surrounding us, we've got to reflect that. Okay. And that being something that could inspire a lot of creative energy. It could help you to get more tuned, right, into your creative energy to be able to create and manifest what it is that you truly desire. But it starts within you. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.